Tattoo for you, Richard here, and it's time for a Finish Not Perfect update. Boy, it is not finished. Trying. Getting there. Sorry, I'm getting everything in front of me, so I've got it all right here ready to go. Is that it? I'll get the last of it. Oh, no, stop it. Stop it. Give me a little drill bit. I'll get that down here too, I guess. Alright, now I'm thoroughly distracted. I'm coming back to you guys. Sorry. So, Finish Not Perfect. And you know what I've been doing lately is I've been working on... I'm trying to mix up things, but I've just been solely focused on my 11th Legion project. My Lost Legion project. And that is my Hydra army for 40k. Well, I think I'm going to go full bore 30k. And then later on tie it into 40k. I have ideas of how it's going to come to be and come to pass. Like how the 11th Legion was taken out in my universe. Kind of give you a brief overview. So, the Hydra Legion. I know Hydra is the Alpha Legion. They've got the Hydra is their logo. I'm going with more of Hydra like Marvel. Where it's the skull head with the tentacles, and they say you cut a tentacle off, two grow in its place, because we spread everywhere, all that jazz, whatever. So I decided the Primarch will be Johann Smith. I might change the last name just to make it sound cooler. But the Red Skull. So what I want to do is, here's my plans for the future. I gotta sneeze and I don't want to. Plans for the future is I want to get the new box set coming out. The Triumvirate for the Imperium. That's going to be coming out. The Rise of the Primarch. That's the body I want to use for Johann. I'm going to convert his head. Make it look more Red Skull-like. I'm going to do a lot of sanding on it down. Filing it down. And then getting the skeletal structure carved into the plastic. And then build it up with green stuff to make it look more like... Let me see. I'm going to test this. If you see it there, it's there. If it's not there, then I didn't pop a picture up in this little corner. But I like that look from right here. Or here. Whichever side it's on. Wherever I got it to work at. Or if I didn't get it to work, go look up the Red Skull from Captain America. You know. I want to make it look as close to that as possible. And then I'm going to do a lot of stuff on the armor. Because I'm going with the tentacle look. I have in my head, you know, when the Primarchs were lost and scattered, his went through the warp, and when it came out, it went through a planet going supernova, and it damaged the pod, and it also caused radiation leakage to get in there and stuff, and it mutated him. Changed up his DNA, because they were kids, they were babies, I'm assuming, whenever they did this. I need to read more of the Primarch stuff. But they were babies in the pods. So his got tainted and with radiation, and it caused a mutation in his DNA and his cells to give him the skeletal appearance on his face, and then but also his skin to turn red. So when he finally landed on the planet, that his final homeworld, I haven't come up. The homeworld could be called Hydra. And the people there that lived there were kind of not quite technologically advanced to an extreme state, maybe. They worshipped an old god. And I really like Call of Cthulhu. I don't know super lot about the whole story of Call of Cthulhu. I played the game back in the day, the RPG. I played a Call of Cthulhu Resident Evil game. It was so fun. Like the game master, the DM that ran that was just a storytelling genius. But so I'm gonna say they worship the great old one, and so I want to do like a display board of statues and stuff for that. And then, of course, he came down there, and then he just rose to power, this massive man with his red skin. So he almost looked like a demon. These people didn't know what. They just have statues of the Great Old One. So in their eyes, the Great Old One had red skin, like he was this. And this was like an incarnate of him or something, or his child sent to their, to take them, yeah, to raise them up. And that's what he did. He raised up that world, helped them out, and just, yeah, they became a big force. When he was found, the Emperor wasn't happy about the skin appearance and stuff, you know, because that's impure. But they started making the soldiers and stuff like that using his DNA, all that jazz. That's why all the Space Marines that have this gene seed from him have red skin. But they're all seen as demons, so like they almost think like people think they're possessed, but they're not. I'm thinking about giving them a toughness. Like their bone structure is a little bit more hardened. I don't know. I haven't thought about the actual fluff story rules for them yet, like the chapter specific rules. I'll probably go into that later on once I really get into it. I need to get the Adeptus Astartes book from Forge World, the Horus Heresy one, and then probably another one. I'm not sure. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, so yeah, so they're all have the red skin. That's why I started painting. I went back on him and I painted him up red skin. I'll go table down in a minute so you can see him a little bit better. I'll probably do that now. Let's go table down and then I'll finish talking about it.
Table down. So I was showing you earlier is the red skin tone. I went back because I had initially just painted the front of his face, the front part of his face red, like where it would look like a skull. And I decided to, thanks to Graham Collins, was talking about it and the taint and stuff, they could have a red skin since their gene seed comes from their Primarch. So I was like, well, that's perfect. That works out great. And that gives me even more reason, you know, why this army wants to be wiped out by the Emperor. You know, he can't have his children looking like demons. And because of the red skin, they do. And I thought about giving them black eyes or something. Or like, that's another thing. I mean, it's hard for me to paint eyes on models. But when I do the Primarch, I'll probably have him have red eyes too. Or black eyes, I mean. But yeah, so that's kind of like where I'm at on the fluff. That's why they were wiped out. They were purged because they couldn't have the impurities out there for people to see. They couldn't let a son of the Emperor be seen as a demon. So here's my updates, like where I'm at on it. I have finished Baron von Strucker, the chapter master or whatnot, whatever you call him in the 30K world. So the basing was that cork basing. I think I showed you that before. Yeah, I did. I remember that. I got him all glued down. He needs to be sealed still. And I actually want to paint some red tentacles on his cape. And then do like a big red skull on his shoulder pad. He's got a lot of red skulls on him already. But these guys are obsessed with it. So, I'd say he's done, but he's not done. I think he still needs a little bit more work. I had a lot of issues with the primer on this too. The primer went on super thick, so I lost some details and stuff. But this is that Marshall Helbrecht model. What did I do? Oh, he had the candles up top. I cut those and I moved the skull down, I believe. Yeah, I did a few things on this guy. I converted the power claw because he had his arm over there holding some tassels and some stuff, so I decided to put a power claw on there. I'm going to go with green weapons, like power weapons. Almost like to add another bit of fluff in it for like since I have Necrons too, having it like they take Necrons' energy, their souls, and harness them and use them for power, for weapons. So like my plasma guns will probably shoot green plasma. It's just another thing to give me a little bit more pop, because if you notice, my color scheme is red and black. And then I've had gray capes, the gray cloaks, which I tell you what, I had all that struggle with that wet blending. Sorry, let me put this somewhere where I'm not jiggle. I just could not get it on this model for some reason. And maybe the primer, but I'm gonna be really upset if the primer is part of my issues. Because I don't remember if I primed this guy black first with that spray can I got, that rattle can. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, I just couldn't get the wet blending to go right on this. So you get to a point where you just want to stop on a model. Like I said, it's finished, not perfect. It's not where I want it to be, but you have to stop or else you're going to take it too far and mess it up. So I'm calling it finished. Minus the little last two details I want to do on the shoulder and stuff. The icons, the emblems. So, but yeah, I'm happy with I like the green, and then of course the purple is the other pop of color to kind of break it up a little bit, like the purple hoses and stuff. There's one back in there, a couple back in there you can't really see very well. But I like how he turned out. He's just so tiny for a chapter master, but whatever. Now, additions to this army right now. And yes, I know I order China Cast. I ain't gonna lie, I do it. I've said it before, I love Forge World, and I would order Forge World every day if I had the money for it. But when you come across things like you can't get through Forge World anymore, like it's an event exclusive, and if you did get it on eBay from them, it's like $100 and something over for a figure. Well, I came across something I wanted to use as a librarian. This is Nicodemus, my librarian. I like the way he looks. Now, I'm not going to put the demon horns on there or anything like that because it's supposed to be like he was summoning a demon. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to green stuff over that face of the demon and just make it look like it's an energy fire thing or something he's pulling out of his butt. I have some chrome lek hammers because I have this thing like they have the hammer of Hydra. So I'm going to cut the top of this off and put one of those hammers that I have on there. They're coming in. Everything on here is blue tack, like he's blue tack to the base. And again, the bases are supposed to look like industrial style, like they're maybe on a spaceship or something like that. So, and I use old gift cards. Target gift cards to do the basing. And this is a part of a straw. It'll be fun to paint up all rusty color and stuff. This is a really cool model. It was kind of a pain to put together. The cape's not glued on. Because this guy decided I want to do the cape red and then do like white tentacles on it. And his hand's not glued on either, so I can do the conversion work whenever it comes in. So I got that. And then I did get another thing. Now you can see that? That's kind of a big base. So whatever could that be? It is this. This is my first Contemptor Dreadnought. And I got it. It's China Cast too. Fail cast. I know. I'm sorry. The cool thing is when I ordered it, they were closed for the holiday or something like that. So I ordered the Contemptor Dreadnought and a Chain Fist arm. Because I already had this that I got a long time ago, the Volkite arm for the Dreadnought. So there's a Chain Fist. Well, they sent me, because they were closed, a plasma arm and a regular arm for the Dreadnought. So I have two backup arms. I have the Chain Fist and I have the regular. So, yeah. And then I have two ranged arms, the plasma and the Volkite. So I'm going to do some magnetizing on this guy. Yeah, it's pretty fun. I need to do some more base work on him. Build up some base work. Give it that same industrial look. And then I'll actually start gluing him down and figuring out his pose and everything. That's the thing I like about these guys, is I can get kind of dynamic with it. Look at those ball joints. Ball joints for days, man. I'm going to have fun with that. Definitely do some pinning. It's not Forge World resin, so I definitely got to keep my eye on it, take care of it. Let me put something so you can stare at these for a minute. But yeah, that's where I'm at so far. That's my update. I haven't done much else, like building actual soldiers. I still have these on sprue. Haven't took them off yet. Plus all my other stuff I have in here. I think my deal is I'm kind of waiting to see if this money thing comes through. My financial situation finishes. My financial situation is better now. We have one more thing in the process that we're waiting on. We're trying to figure out. And then once it goes through, I will have some money set aside for my hobby stuff. And I'll be able to just do more things. And one of those main things I'm going to be doing is I'm going to try to find a Calth box set and a Prospero box set. Mainly for the miniatures inside. I would like the rules and whatnot, just because I think it'd be kind of cool to have. But I'm really wanting just the miniatures inside. So that'll the Calth will give me another, what, 2 Marine squads in the Mark IV armor? Or is it 1 squad of 10 and the Cataphracti? Anyway, I'll have Cataphracti Terminators, and then I'll have my first Mark IV armor. I'll have another Contemptor Dreadnought, the plastic one. I'm probably going to do some conversion work on that too, maybe like chop it up a little bit so I can pose it just a little bit differently. And then I'll have the Cataphracti Terminators. And then I'm going to eventually get, and I'll get probably at the same time if I can, if it works out right, I'll get the Prospero box set. So that'll give me another set of, give me more Mark III armor. And then I'll have the Tartaros pattern Terminators. And then I'll have the Custodes and the Sisters of Silence, which those 2 things I don't overly care about those as much. I do want to paint them, to have them. But they're not like a necessity for this army. So, and I think after that, like 2 of the main things I want to get a Rhino, a Demos pattern Rhino. Forge World had the deal where you can get 3 of them for $100. Or 100 pounds, or whatever that is, US money. I'm hoping whenever that happens, I might be able to scoop that up. Because I do have a Forge World order in mind. So, hopefully I can get those. I wish you could buy the upgrades for them, like the Vindicator upgrade, the Predator tank upgrades. I wish you could buy those separate. But, anyway, I've got my eye on those, maybe. And then possibly 1 larger tank, either a Land Raider or a Sicaran. I really like the Sicaran. It looks so pretty. We'll see. It's just the money factor. It's a bit on the expensive side, so it may be kind of pushed further down the list. Those are just my plans for this initial start of this army. Oh, and the Adeptus Astartes book is high on my list too. I have seen copies of it and stuff, like PDFs and stuff online that I've seen, but I'd like to get a hard copy just to have it in hand, because for whatever reason that's a lot easier for me to read and pay attention to. But anyway, that's my plans. That's how I kind of want to make the Hydra Legion grow. The 11th Legion come to power, come to rise. Yeah, I'm excited, guys. I love you all. I thank you so much for joining me on this update. Remember, cats, finish not perfect is a philosophy. It's not my own. I got it from somebody else. I'm not going to take credit for it, but I like it. I love it, and I want to bring it into my life. To where I don't stress out and worry about things I do, drawings I do, miniature painting I do, anything I do like that, where I don't stress out about, oh my gosh, this isn't perfect, this is horrible, I'm just going to put this away and never finish it. I'm going to start a project, I'm going to go to the end, I'm going to finish it, and once it's done, if I'm not happy with it, I still finished it. I still get to look back at what I'm not happy with, take that as a learning experience, turn that around into the next piece of the project, the next thing I work on. Take the things I'm unhappy with and make them better the next go round. That's the only way we're going to grow. That's the only way we're going to get better, guys, is if we just take our mistakes, we see them, we accept them, we understand them, and we move to do better next time. Guys, I love you all. I thank you so much again for rocking out with me and hanging with me. Keep rocking that nerd life, my friends. I'll see you next time.